what's going on, family? This is your brother here once again, DeAndre Riley, DRspeaks, and you have just tuned in to another episode of I've Got Something to Say. First of all, let me take this time and opportunity to say thank you for tuning in. Your support is greatly appreciated. I value your input. I value your support. I am so grateful to you. I pray that you had a blessed Christmas, a blessed holiday, a blessed New Year. We are in 2014, and who knows what God has for us. Listen, I want to take this time to let you listen to this message. I actually had the opportunity to do a seminar or workshop of sorts at a local business here in the Detroit area. And I definitely believe that this would be something that was not only could be beneficial to you as individuals, but to those that may have businesses themselves or their own businesses. You can kind of take some principles from this particular workshop that I did, and you can apply it to your own business. You can apply it to your ministry. You can apply it to your life. And so take a look at this message. I'll be back shortly to give you a little bit more information. Peace. DRspeaks. Better me. Better me. All right. Jonna Kennedy, he said this: think not what your country can do for you, but think what you can do for your country. Now, I can take that and I can put this in these terms: think not what your company can do for you, think what you can do for your company. Because if you don't do your job, as I said in the open, if you don't perform the way you're supposed to perform, customers, clients, they begin to bag out. People stop coming. People stop trusting you all, and then the business starts to decline. Now, if the business starts to decline, then what happens to you? Then we got to start picking people out and saying, unfortunately, we got some shortages, we got some layoffs, and we got to go ahead and forth with this. And we thank you for what you've done, but times are hard, it's tight, and we can't afford to have you here. Now, we experienced a recession, and it basically started with the housing market. But one of the biggest industries that was affected, as we know, to be the auto industry. Now, why in the world did all of a sudden GM, Chrysler, Ford, why all of a sudden did they just start to fall off? Why did people stop buying these vehicles? Why did people stop supporting Ford the way that they did? Is it because of money? I don't necessarily think it's because of money. Because while Ford was declining, while GM was declining, while Chrysler was declining, Kia was going up. People were buying more Hondas. People were buying more Toyotas. And many times, what happened was a reflection of the employees that were on the line. The employees stopped putting out product like they were supposed to. They stopped putting that attention to detail. I used to work in the manufacturing industry. I know how important it is to inspect every part like it should be done, to plug this into where it needs to go so that it can function properly. You have more recalls with these companies. You have more accidents because of people not doing their job. These cars have been breaking down a lot faster than they had before. And people are saying, they got this to the point, and they said, I'm tired of Ford. I'm tired of Chrysler. I'm tired of GM. They're no longer building these products like they're supposed to, so I'm about to go get me a foreign car. And they start to do that. And so GM, Ford, Chrysler, they began to decline as a company, and they had to start laying a whole bunch of people off. And somebody in this room knows somebody that was affected by those layoffs. You know, so somebody that was affected, maybe one of you used to work for those companies. But the point is, they stopped caring. They stopped bringing that attention to detail. And every day, you cannot afford to take one day off and caring, one day off and putting that attention to detail to make sure that you are delivering the best product that you can possibly have. You as individuals can do one thing, two things, 3, 5, 10, 15 things a day that can make somebody's life better. Maybe your coworker that works the shift with you in the back doesn't come on time. Then you can kind of maybe help pick up her slack just a little bit instead of, blaming everybody, why she not here, and everybody's upset now. Instead of you just kind of just taking the initiative, doing what you need to do, hold it down for somebody else. That's right. That's right. Because again, we are helpers one to another. And so having that attention to detail, working in excellence. We're not talking about perfection. We're talking about excellence. Just being excellent in what you do. Giving 100% every single time. And that's going to reciprocate into more and more people coming. People going to start getting on the phone and saying, man, I'm trying to tell you, that grown minds, you need to have your children over there. They care about the children. They care about each other. They care about me, and word of mouth starts to spread, and then people just start coming, And there's some things that Mrs. Darby is trying to do, getting some more media outlets going, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, building a website, doing advertisements, radio, television, things of that sort, so that the name can get out there. So now as the name gets out there, people are going to start wondering, hey, that's right around the area where I'm at. What's going to happen when they come in and don't see you doing your job like you're supposed to? That's a missed opportunity. And I'm not saying that you don't do your job like you're supposed to, but just kind of be mindful of that. People are always coming in and researching and trying to see what's the best rate, what's the best value that I can get. And you are the bridge to them becoming just a prospect to them being a client. You're the one that kind of helped them cross that bridge, and now you get to work for them. And again, as this company grows, you begin to grow. I'll use this quote a lot. Motivational speaker by the name of Zig Ziglar, he said this. He said, you don't build a business, you build the people. And then the people build the business. So now, from management's perspective, they build the employees. And if management is, let's say, not building the employees, now you're starting to have maybe some issue with the business being built up. And so now, at any rate, I believe that the management here does care. I believe the management here gives you an opportunity to voice your concerns. If you, let's say for instance, you want to express something and you are not quite sure how to do it. Maybe you don't want to write it out and leave it in the mailbox because maybe they recognize your handwriting. And what you have to say, maybe it may not be that good. It may not be something too positive. Take the time, go home, type it up, and just leave it in the cash deposit box or something. And somebody will pull that out and see the feedback that has been given. And I believe the managers here, the directors, the owners here care to hear your feedback to know what you need to help your job go better. And so they're trying to build the employees up. They're trying to build you, the people, up so that the business can build up. But then also you in turn look at the customers, the clients, and you build them up. And it builds you up, and then it just continues to build the business. I believe this, you can have the life that you want. Zig Ziglar said this as well. As long as you help as many people have the life that they want. And again, it's that better you, better me thing. What I make happen for someone else, God makes happen for me. And so why is this important in your life? Because again, you reap what you sow. What you make happens for someone else, God makes happen for you. And I believe this is the reason why some of us struggle, because some of us are just so stingy. And I just mean in general, just this nation in general, just struggling because people are just stingy. People don't want to go and support this person because they can take from them. And that crab in the bucket mentality, that, okay, so she do nails and your cousin do nails or you do nails, but you won't never go to someone else to get your nails done because you think they're going to take away from your business. Well, what if everyone else thought about that with you? Now you sitting at home with no clients because you stingy. You sitting at home with no business because you're not willing to give. And so you have to give out if you're ever going to receive. So here's a couple of things I want you to think about. Number one, have an attitude of giving, have an attitude of sowing. It was this story, and it's a biblical story, but I can bring it and make it relevant to you. Well, there was this, they called him the Lord, but he was basically a boss. He was a manager. And he came and he gave what the Bible calls talents to 3 people. Talents being their gifts, talents being their skills, talents being their resources. But talents was also a form of currency in that day. And so one he gave 1 talent, the other he gave 3 talents, the other he gave 5 talents. And his hope was that they would do something with these talents. His hope was that they would take them and invest so that what they have can grow up and become more. And so one of them, the guy that had 5, said, yeah, I'm going to work these 5, and he ended up getting 10. The one that had 3 said, I'm going to work these 3, and he came back with 5. But then there was one guy, he only had 1, and he was afraid that if he loses 1, then his boss, his master, would be upset. So what he did was, I'm going to go ahead and hide mine in the ground, and I'm going to reassure that at least one of them will be here. And so the master comes back, the boss comes back, and he inspects what they have done, and he sees the one that made 10 out of the 5. He said, good job, come on in, receive your reward. The one that had the 3, he made the 5, he said, come on in, receive your reward. He came to the one that had the 1, and he said, so what did you do? Oh, I got you. Put it up out the ground, and was like, yep, this is it right here. And he said, wait, I gave you this. You didn't do anything else with it? And so he told him get away from here. I mean, he used some kind of harsh language in a sense, but in essence, he did not receive his reward because what he had on the inside of him, that gift he had, he did not utilize. That drive he had, he didn't utilize it. And again, coming here every week, I know it gets tiring. I know sometimes you don't feel like it. You know, I'm trying to build a business. I'm trying to do ministry. And then I go to a job every single day. And I don't always feel like going to work. And sometimes, I mean, and portion, I wake up in the morning almost every other day like, I should just quit my job. I should just quit. Because I feel like sometimes they can't do for me what, they just can't match my dreams sometimes. That's how I feel. But then I think about it, my company, you know, it's an optical company. They started off in 1947. And I won't use the name of the company because I'm actually recording. So maybe they may give me some consent to say it. But at any rate, they started off in 1947. One store by one man. 600 square foot room smaller than this. And he began to grind out glasses and lenses. And I can imagine him going to work every single day in that small little cubicle trying to build a name for this company. And there were times, and I know the owner personally, he comes down, he talks to us, and he talked about how there was many days he just said, I just did not feel like doing it. You know, I had a dream though, and I just kept going. I kept plugging away at it. I saw my life better. And the truth of the matter is, and let me say this without it seeming like, hey, everybody should just like not be working. But the truth is, the people that started here, a lot of people that started with this company ain't here now. It just happens. And some of you in a couple of years may not be here. Maybe some of you may go open up your own child care center. Maybe you may go do something else. Maybe you might teach on a different level. But while you're here, you need to work it like there's no end. You need to work it like tomorrow's not promised. You need to work this like this is your own. Because why would someone trust you with something else and you're not able to help build up someone else? It's like be faithful over the little things and you could be ruler over much. Hey family, DeAndre Riley here again, DRspeaks. You got finished just listening to a portion of a message from a workshop that I presented for a particular business here in the Detroit area called Grown Minds Learning Center. It's a Christian-based child care educational center. There are 2 locations, one business here in the city of Detroit on the East Detroit side of the city. And this is definitely a company, a business that I recommend. They've definitely been a great support to me, to the endeavors and things that I have set out to accomplish. And I definitely will recommend them. You know, if you have children as young as 6 weeks, you definitely can bring your children to them. Mrs. Darby and her staff, they have a phenomenal program, experienced staff, people that are concerned about the well-being of your child, the well-being of your family. If you want to contact them or get more information about this particular company that I definitely highly recommend, there's a couple of ways you can contact them. First of all, you can contact them via telephone. You can go to 313-885-7772. Again, that is 313-885-7772. You can contact Mrs. Darby and she can give you all the information about this particular company. Or you can visit them on their social websites, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all at GMLC Inc. You can go to those different sites and you can find out more information about them. But again, this was an opportunity that I've definitely cherished, I value. I was grateful to be able to present to their employees to kind of help position them for this new year that is going forward and some things that they can do to kind of position them to become an even stronger, more effective company in the child care industry. If you would be interested in maybe having something like this done for your business, for your organization, for your ministry, I myself and a few people that I partner with, we definitely can bring these same similar services to you and be able to partner with you to help bring the vision that you have for your company, your organization, or your ministry to pass. I've had a plethora of experience being able to, work side by side with certain companies and be able to help them, whether it's employee relations, whether it's customer service and different things of that sort, even from a ministry standpoint, working in administration, youth ministry, adult men's ministry, whatever the case may be, there's something that I'm sure that I can help you with. For more information about some of these services, go to my website, www.DRspeaks.org. You can contact me, send me an email, or contact me directly via my cell phone, 313-633-6844. Or again, like I said, go to my website, DRspeaks.org. Listen, I'm going to let you continue to hear this message. I hope that it's a blessing to you. I hope that something was said to encourage you. And again, I pray that you have a great 2014. I believe the best is yet to come and that this is your year. This is my year. This is our year. Until next time, I'll see you all again. DR Speaks. Peace. Be blessed. business transaction. This is the best company they've ever done business with. That's the model that we're instilled with when they come to work. And so no matter how I'm feeling, no matter how upset I am when I get to work, you know, if I'm upset, if I'm sick, if my head hurt, when that doorbell rings, I come from out that back room ready to go. And I'm like, today you're going to get some glasses. And I make sure that happens. When I first got promoted to management, they said, listen, the morale is low down there. The employees, they just not motivated. And we're not making the money that we want to make. And so I looked at it like, man, why you going to send me down to that little small store? And I got the smallest store in the company. But yet, in my district, we make the most money. And so I went down there, and at first I was like, man, send me down to this small store. And they gave me a raise. I mean, they hooked me up. But, like, they sent me to this small store. And I didn't want to go down there. It was another store I was eyeing, like, yeah, if I'm going to be a manager, I want that store right there. And but anyhow, I quickly came to myself and said, you know what, this is an opportunity for me. And I can leave my mark here. Like, I'm so convinced that I've done such a good job there that if I leave tomorrow, they'd be like, please come back. Please, I mean, seriously. Like, as a matter of fact, last week I almost quit. As a matter of fact, I called my manager and said, I quit. I thank you for the opportunity, but I can't do it. I got in my car and started driving off. She called me on the cell phone like, please don't leave. We don't want you to leave. And I'm thinking to myself like, man, like, maybe I do have an opportunity here to do something. Maybe I can make a difference here. And doing this, working on this company, it has shown me so much about myself. And so when you come to work, I want you to think about that. What is it that this company can offer you to help better you? You know, just in general. I mean, I'm a better preacher because of this job. I've gotten more determined to do business because of this job. You know, I like to try to think, you know, I've done better in my personal life because of this job. You know, the money has been better. I mean, I guess I'm making more money now than I ever have. You know, so things of that sort. It just kind of really starts to pay off in dividends. So have an attitude of sowing. Make sure that gifts that you have, the resources that you have, the time that you have, the skills that you have, you're giving those things. Because they're going to multiply, and there's going to be a reward for you in the end. Sometimes you can't see it, but that's why we walk by faith and not by sight. And so you got to believe that something better is coming. Again, I watched this company have one location starting off, and some of you wasn't here, but, you know, they had how many children starting off? 5 children. And it seemed like in like 60 days, they was like to capacity at Bethany. You know, and again, because they just kept working, and they was believing, and they said something better is going to happen. They tried to get the employees motivated, and now they opened up another location. Now, if the other location wouldn't open up, half of y'all wouldn't even be here. So now think about if the first half of the employees would have said, man, skip this. I'm not going to work hard. I ain't going to do nothing. They messed up. They would have messed up life for you all. And so now you got to take that same mentality that you kind of on the ground floor or something. You kind of in the exception stage, and you can do something to kind of maybe help another group of people. And I drive past, I see child time, kinder care, and all these type of people. I'm like, man, skip them. Growing Minds Learning Center. You know, so... And so y'all can do that. I mean, like we really can be that type of company. I mean, think about it. All these companies around, you got all of these, excuse me, I hate to say it this way, but you got all these like fly-by-night hood places. Yeah. They just like open up stuff in, you know, their kitchen, and it's like Kiki's daycare. and again, I mean, that's Kiki's, you know what I'm saying, prerogative. Let her do the whole Kiki become successful. But I mean, like, this is like a brand, though, GMLC. Like, just think about that for a minute. It sounds distinguished. It sounds like something. I mean, you know, we're working on a logo right now and all that type of stuff so that it can be branded. When you put it out, when you see it on TV, when you see it on literature, if it goes on the billboard, people that drive by and automatically say, oh, yeah, that's the people on the east side. And before those people, and sooner or later, people on the east side start going to the west side. Then the people start going to Southfield. And then it'd be all across this state because of your effort. And again, as I started to kind of like invest in my company invested in me. Nobody said I was going to be a manager. As a matter of fact, the second week I was at the job, I was threatened to lose my job. Because I came in, and let me tell you this story. I came in after being, I guess, declined another job. I had an interview, got the job offer. And I was supposed to start October 17th. I'll never forget it. They emailed me on October 14th, a Friday, and I was supposed to start that Monday, talking about business needs have changed. The people that we were going to hire, we're no longer going to need. Now, we'll keep you in mind in the future, but as of today, we don't know when the future is going to be, basically. And so I'm devastated because I was at home calculating the money up. I'm like, I'm going to be making this. Oh, I'm going to be able to do this. And I saw it. And then they just like pulled the rug from under me. And so then I kind of went to this company as the last result because my friend was working out. I said, man, can you get me in? And they ended up getting me in. And in the back of my mind, I said, man, as soon as this other company called me back, I'm gone. And I came to work like that. And it showed. And one day the senior manager put me in the office and said, listen, I heard you dozed off at work. You know, I heard you not doing this. I heard you not doing that. And she said, do you just want to just be let go? Do you think it would just be better if we just kind of part ways? We don't want to invest anything into you because they invest a lot into you. Training, certifications, things of that sort. And I was like, no. That was a wake-up call for me. It's like, I'm about to lose my job. I'm trying to have a wife. I'm trying to have a little bit of life. And I'm about to lose my job. And it had me to perk up. And it's sad that we got to be threatened sometime. Amen. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to be able to perform. But why couldn't I have just seen it as an opportunity from the beginning and just worked hard? And so I did straighten my act up, start coming to work on time. And then I start talking like management. I start giving my input. I started making suggestions. I started showing up to work on time. I started, whatever they needed me to do, I was doing it. My company has this thing called the Above and Beyond Award that is given to anybody who just, goes above and beyond their job, qualifications and responsibilities. But how many of y'all ever heard people say, that ain't in my job description? People say that all the time. They say, hey, can you go over here and, at my company, I vacuum at there. I clean the bathroom. If a patient, can't come pick up their glasses, we've gotten in our cars and driven them to their home and not even expecting any gas money back. And so the company, they start asking me to go to different stores outside of the district. Now, I'm not supposed to have to do that. I just don't have to do it. If I would have said no, well, nobody would have been upset. They would have been like, okay, I understand. It's 30, 40 miles away from your home. That's fine. But I was like, no problem. I'll do it. And not once did I ask for a gas reimbursement check, which I could have, and gas was up high. But I just saw it as an opportunity. Let me get better. Let me instill it, let me invest into this company, because if I was on the other end, I would want people to do that for me. Right. I want to have committed employees. I want to have people that's flexible and willing to do things. And so that's what I did. And so I just started going to these different stores, and every store in the eastern area I've worked in. Can't nobody else say that. I worked in all of these different stores. And when it came time to do the Above and Beyond Awards banquet that we have every May, I was like, I know I'm going to get this award. Like, I would have been mad if I didn't get it. Like, that's how focused I was. I'm not trying to be arrogant or cocky or anything, but I looked at people and said, I'm going to outwork them. Like, I'm going to get here on time. I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to sell the most pair of sunglasses. I'm going to have my percentages up. I'm going to do what I need to do so that, number one, I can be successful for myself. But then I know if I work this hard, this company is going to grow. Then they start doing this thing like a performance-based bonuses. So we get a raise every year based on our performance. What makes you think I'm going to come to work now if I can help dictate how much money I'm going to make next year? And so I started, again, getting committed to that. I said, yeah, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to work hard and make sure that I can do what I need to do to, help better this company. And in turn, it's going to better me. I want you to know that you represent this company. Anybody seen on the news last week and that lady got fired from DTE for what she posted on Facebook? Yeah. That happens. People, they seem not to understand that they represent the companies they work for. If you look at like police officers, if you look at firemen, if you look at politicians, the president, these are people that they let them know, hey, you represent this nation, or you represent the police department. That mayor was in Highland Park, the Highland Park mayor, at a club. Come on, man. Like, you represent Highland Park, but you at a club, and got shot. And so it's just like, you kind of got to think about it. I represent this company. When you go home, maybe you ain't got the grown minds learning to send the t-shirt all on your back or anything, but, what would it look like? They come to work and say, yeah, last night, Miss Crystal, she was at the gas station. And she robbed that 7-Eleven over there. Now those parents gonna come back and say, did you know one of their employees, they in jail right now, they got a felony? And again, that's a representation of everybody else. Now they're gonna start looking at everybody else like, what else they got going on over there? Like, how they treating my kids? Right. You know, how they doing my family members? And now they start to kind of pull away a little bit because somebody made a foolish decision. So make wise decisions, especially when you at work. Just come there, do your job. You know, let the little small stuff roll off your back. Be focused on providing, again, the best care that you possibly can provide to your clients. And I'm telling you, everything else will take care of itself. Trust me, it will. Amen. Number 2, I want you to have vision. Now, I'm going to ask this. If I asked you all, or if I asked anybody here, what is the vision of the company, could anybody tell me? Would there be anybody that could say, I know the vision or the mission of Growing Minds Learning Center?
I would say to grow.
Okay, so to grow. Okay, so I almost can get that basically from just the name, you know, and that's good. So, but I'm almost certain that there's a little bit more to it. And if you don't know it, then you just don't know. But make sure you find out. Because the vision, the mission statement, the philosophy, those are all the goals, the objectives that this company wants to accomplish. So if you don't know, you got, you know, the directors, you can just kind of pull to the side and say, hey, you know, what should I be aiming towards? You know, what is it that I need to be focusing in on every single day, and make sure you stick to that. I believe this, without a vision, the people perish. And I believe that if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know how you're going to get there, you'll just kind of be wandering aimlessly, just coming to work, not really knowing what to expect, not really knowing what's required of you, and you'll just start making this a paycheck. Why do you do what you do? Why do you come to work every day? Why do you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning? Some of you got to open that building up at 6, and I mean you up before that. You know, some of you got to stay till the end. Like, why do you do it? Why did you choose this profession? Why, with all the jobs out there that's available, you didn't choose something else? And so, with that being said, you also got to ask yourself, why do I come to work every day? Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it's you want to advance in your own profession. Whatever the case may be, know that reason, stick to it, and let that be your motivation to keep going every day. Let that be your motivation that when people, because again, I mean, we know how it can get. We're working with certain people, and sometimes they can bother us, sometimes they can get on our nerves and things of that sort. Your why will kind of help you deal with that. Like, I mean, whatever. Churchill, he said that if you know your why, you can deal with any how. So people say, you know, how are you going to do this? How are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to do this? How are you going to get to work? Well, I got a why. I have a reason why I'm doing this. I know my agenda. I know my purpose. I have a dream. I have a goal. And I see the vision of this company. And I'm going to make sure that I carry that out.
What's going on, y'all? It's Mr. Bell. Some know me as Antone Choirboy Bell. Others know me as Elder Antone Bell. I am co-CEO of Bell Global Network, BGN TV 2090. And I want to invite you right now to get your own broadcast. Calling all ministries, all politicians, all business owners. Get your own broadcast right now, starting at $99. And if you have an idea for a TV show, we can bring your idea to reality. We have packages available that includes production and facilities. Also, we have advertising packages starting as little as $25. So don't hesitate. Give us a call at 313-355-7877. Once again, that's 313-355-7877 to make an appointment today.